Hey guys, what's going on, people? It's your boy Nas Maya back again with another video, and as always, remember to like and subscribe for more. Algorithm. We are on the road. We're trying to get 1,000 followers by the end of the year. Cool. Can we make a brother dream? Let's go. Anyway, today's video, we are looking at the team of the week for match day number 4, or some teams match day number 3. Now, I've been doing these videos for a while on my TikTok page, the link which you can find in my description. That's my 21 on TikTok. But also I've been doing them on my shorts. But some people have requested for me to make them a bit longer, more in-depth analysis. I was like, you know what? You're right. Your wish is my command. That sounds crazy, but yeah, why not? So I'm doing it on here. I also did it on my shorts and TikTok page for those that want to see a shorter version of it. But yeah, I'm doing it on here. However, I do have some rules. Number one, I can't pick more than 2 players per team, a max of 2 players per team. So there's some teams, like for example, Man City, I could choose several players, Arsenal, several players, but I can only pick 2 players max per team. And yeah, another rule is basically it's positionless. So for example, in the attack, for the balance of the team, I don't really care. I'll just pick the 3 best attackers for the weekend, the 3 best midfielders of the weekend. Defense might be a bit balanced, but yeah. Without further ado, let's get into it. In goal. Now, this was kind of tough. It was kind of between David Raya and Thibaut Courtois, because Raya, clean sheet. But I went with, it was between Raya, Thibaut Courtois, and what's his name? Robert Sanchez of Chelsea, because he did make some clutch saves. But I went with Thibaut Courtois in the end of Real Madrid. Now, look, this guy was phenomenal for Madrid this season. I mean, Madrid defensively have been so much better this season. I mean, the first 4 games, they've only conceded 2 goals, one being a set piece or corner, and the other one was a penalty this weekend. But Courtois came up with some big saves this season tonight. And sorry, by the time you see this on Saturday, and he made some big saves. There was one save that he made on Oriathabal, which was massive, especially when they went down to 10 men. He came clutch for them, and he helped them get the win. He was very vital. He did concede a goal, which was a penalty, and fair enough to him. But in the end, he made the team. Right back, I went with Benjamin Pavard of Marseille. Now, this was his first start for Marseille, his debut, but he was really good for them. Obviously, albeit it was against 10 men Lorient, but scored a goal, kept a clean sheet. What more can you ask from your defender? It was a weird one, but he was kind of playing centre back at right back, but he's a really good defender, can play centre-back, can play at right-back, can invert. Very good on the ball, very all-right defender. For a long time, he was like France's starting right-back. Now, if he keeps up those performances, maybe there's a call-up for France at Clairefontaine for the World Cup to get back into that squad. The first centre-back I went with is Christian Mosquera of Arsenal. Now, Arsenal, they have their partnership, which is known, which is Saliba and Gabriel. Those two have been starting together for the last, 3 years, give or take. For Saliba to go out, who's been Arsenal's best centre-back for a while until Gabriel's kind of taken the reins, and for Mosquera to come in and them not miss him one bit was really phenomenal. I thought he was phenomenal against Liverpool on his debut, and today he was phenomenal. On the weekend, he was phenomenal against Forest. I mean, Chris Wood, I didn't even realise he was playing, to be fair to him. And really good. For 15 million, he looks like an absolute bargain. I'm baffled as to why Real Madrid never went in for him. He could have been a phenomenal pairing next to Dean Huijsen. And maybe if he keeps performing like the way he is, especially the way Arsenal's squad is, so obviously they've got a game at the time of recording tomorrow against Bilbao, and also got Man City on the weekend. The Man City game, I would love to see him start because that's a big test, him against Haaland. There's a big storyline there, so there is that. Partnering him, we are staying in London, but we're heading to the other side of North London, and I'm going with Mickey van de Ven of Tottenham. To start the season, he had been really good. Him and Romero have formed that pairing. You've kind of known that pairing, but the fact that this time they're not really playing that high line with, and he's really good. And I think he's the ultimate cheat code. He's tall, he's physical, he can play with the ball at his feet, and he has that blistering recovery pace. I mean, today they had West Ham. They had Paqueta kind of playing that false 9. I don't know why, but Paqueta had one chance in the first half, but didn't really get a sniff the whole game. And Van de Ven came clutch with a good goal. I mean, I'll take it because it was my FPL, and kept a clean sheet, albeit against West Ham, and they were down to 10 men at one point, but he made the team. At left back, we have Alejandro Grimaldo of Leverkusen. this guy was really, really good for Leverkusen, especially when they went down to 10 men. He took on that leadership role. They slowed the game down, but I have him in there because he scored not one, but two bullet free kicks. I mean, the first one, the keeper could have done better. The second one, the keeper was never getting nowhere near that. Really good performance by him against Frankfurt. And yeah, man, it's such a weird thing because he's kind of like third choice in that pecking order for left backs for Spain, because they got Cucurella starting there, who, in my opinion, bar Mendes and Balde, you could argue he's probably the third best left back. You have him. You have Balde, I've mentioned, who can't even get a call up. You have Carreras coming through, who I think in a couple of years' time he might be the starting one. So there's so many options to choose from, but I went with him at left back. The first midfielder I've gone with was Martin Zubimendi of Arsenal Football Club. Now look, I was a bit skeptical when he signed him. I was like, I don't know, man. I wasn't convinced with him at Sociedad because I watched him for Sociedad and I saw Uncle Casemiro, boss him in a midfield for United in the Europa League against Sociedad last season. But he's a really good DM. I did see him in the Nations League for Spain and he was phenomenal in that final against Portugal and also against France in the semis. And people forget in the Euros as well, when he came off the bench in the Euros final when Rodri came on, he changed the game for Spain to get them that win. And today, against Forest, he was absolutely phenomenal, dictating play from deep, controlling the game, scored a golazo to open up the scoring and a back post header. Really good, and for that reason, he made the team. And I think he was also man of the match for that game. Partnering him in midfield, we're heading to Milan, but to the blue side of Milan, and we are going to Turkey's finest, Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Now, I have been very critical of Hakan in the past. I've been saying maybe time's up, maybe it's time to go back to Turkey, but today I hold my hands up. He was really good in that game, scored 2 golazos, and if he can play that way like that, if he can play the way he played in that game, I don't have to criticize him. I mean, I'm a fair guy. When you play bad, I criticize you, but I'm not a hater. Like, if you play good, I hold my hands up, I apologize, and I praise you, man. It's just simple as that, man. So it was really good performance by him. Scored 2 golazos, and look, he's a really good reducer. And if Inter want to do anything this season, he's got to be at it, man. I think he's one of the integral players for Inter this season. The third and final midfielder was kind of tough because honorable mention to Fermin Lopez. I thought he was really good, but I'm going to go with Thomas Müller, man. Thomas Müller of Vancouver Whitecaps. Unk still has it, man. The guy scored a hat-trick. A hat-trick for them. Really good performance. Good goals. And he had that typical celebration where he doesn't run to the corner, knee slide, get in. He just stands and goes, get in, which is just hilarious, man. And I've always had a soft spot for Thomas Müller. Obviously, some people, when you see him off the pitch, he's like, if he was in the class, he'll be like the class clown, always trying to make people laugh. But he's a really underrated footballer. Like, he scored so many goals, assisted so many goals. Like, his movement off the ball is absolutely elite, and you look at some of his career, like he's won a World Cup, 2 Champions League, multiple Bundesligas, and yeah, man, Unk still got it, man. On to the attack. The first attack I went for is Bradley Barcola of PSG. Now, Barcola, for me, he's someone I've seen last season. He took the jump that I think of all the PSG attackers. I think he was kind of the slept-on one because people talk about Dembele's Ballon d'Or. Kvara, I think he's one of the best left wingers on the planet. Doué, one of the best young emerging talents, like him and Yamal, the future of football. No one really talks about Barcola. I think he's a really underrated player. And I was looking at teams that could have used a left winger this season. Teams like Chelsea, teams like Arsenal, Liverpool. His name should have definitely been in the hat because I think he's a tremendous left winger. Can play on both sides. He's got that blistering pace. He's very good technical. He's got a shot on him. And against Lens yesterday, he scored 2 bangers. I mean, that second goal, oh my God. And I've always said with Barcola, if he can be as clinical, his numbers can go up so much better. Because last season, this guy put up, I believe, 20 goals, 20 assists last season, but no one really mentioned it. And I can definitely see that shit happening again. Forgive my language. Especially now with the injuries of Dembele, Kvara, Doué. Expect him to have a big role this season. I mean, they got Atalanta next, and then afterwards they have Le Classique. So he's going to have to buckle up and have some big performances. The second attacker I've gone with is Kylian Mbappe. Now, I've said this season, a lot of guys called him washed. Last season, he had a bad season by his standards. I mean, if scoring 40 goals is bad season, then I'll swap it. But he did it was I wouldn't say a poor season, but if I was to grade it, I'd probably give him a C because individually he did really, really well. Scored 40 goals last season, European top goal scorer, La Liga top goal scorer. So you gotta give it to him. But he joined a team that was coming off winning the Champions League and they didn't win it. They lost the league title. They didn't win the Super Cup and the Intercontinental Cup. And there was this whole question, does he make them worse, etc. On top of that, his old team, PSG, won the Champions League as well, did the treble. The one thing they couldn't do while he was there. He's on a personal revenge season. Like, he's got to step up as a player. There's this whole narrative that Yamal owns him, which I personally disagree with because, yes, Barcelona have beat them 4 times. Yamal's, last season he played, since the Euros, he was 6-0 on him. But guys, every single time they played, Mbappe almost scored in them. I think Mbappe's got... So people, the 4-0 at home, fair enough. But the Super Cup final, Mbappe scored. The Copa del Rey final, it goes to extra time because Mbappe came off the bench and changed the game. The last game, Mbappe scored a hat-trick. And even in the Nations League, Mbappe still scored. So it's like, for example, the NBA, yeah, you're 4-0, you're 3-0 up, but guess what? Every time I'm playing against you, I'm dropping 30 on your head. So that's how I see it. But he's on a personal vendetta, and I predicted this season that he might score 50 goals, and he has started on fire this season. Got a goal, got an assist. I mean, him and Arda Güler, that link up is coming like prime Ronaldo and Ozil, the way they used to link up so many times. I predict him to score 50 goals. I think he's on 5, 6 right now. Yeah, he's on a mad thing. And for me, I've always said this: whenever everyone's on their best, he's the best player in the world. Don't tell me Yamal. Don't tell me Vinny, Haaland, who we'll get to in a sec, Dembele, etc. I think for me, he's the best player in the world. That's how I see it, simple. And now, the final position, up top, leading the line, the guy who was always competing with Mbappe, Erling Braut Haaland. You see when guys say Isak's better than him, guys say, oh, Isak's better than him because he's a better all-round striker than him. Who the hell cares? Yeah, Haaland's worst season, he scores 30 goals. Isak's best season, he scored 30 goals. That just shows you the levels, man. Haaland's worst season, everyone talks about all these strikers. Everyone's doing 007 stuff like that. Haaland, from the first season, he scored 50 goals in his first debut season for Man City. For me, great performance all round. I mean, albeit it was against Man United, but that performance was phenomenal. That's the Haaland we know. None of this like stay in the box. Haaland running at you for 90 minutes, running at you through on goal, putting that fear. That is Erling Haaland at his best. And 5 goals to start the season. I mean, he's on a revenge. He's kind of on a revenge too as well because City didn't win the league last season. Got knocked out in the knockout stages. Was it the knockout stages of the Champions League? So he's on a revenge too as well. So yeah, man. So yeah, that's my team. In goal, Courtois. Right back, Pavard. Centre back, Mosquera. And Van der Ven. Left back, Grimaldo, Hakan, Zubimendi and Thomas Müller. Attack of Barcola, Mbappe and Haaland. If I was to pick a manager of the week, who was gonna be Gaffer? I don't think of that one though. You know what? I'll leave that one to you. Comment it down below. And yeah, man, that's my team. Comment your thoughts down below. As always, remember to like and follow for more. I told you guys this week I'm gonna try and drop a video every single day from Monday to Sunday. You're welcome. If you got out of the 1% that got to the end, if you got to the end, comment any players you would have had in this team. Comment any players you would have had in this team. An honorable mention I'm going to quickly do. Honorable mention to Fermin Lopez. He should have been, I think, it was between him and Muller, but I had to go with one of my favourite players of all time, Muller. Kenan Yildiz, honorable mention to him, but I just couldn't see him dispatching any of those attackers. Yes, 100%. David Raya in goal and David Raya and Robert Sanchez in goal. I mentioned to you lot. Philip Walter Foden, you were really good today. Yesterday. I mentioned to you. Jeremy Doku, again, I mentioned to you. I'm looking in the back line. Who did I put in the back line? Defense. Here we are. Mark Casado, I mentioned to you. Vitinha, Eden Militao, Zubimendi, all mentioned to you lot. So as always, remember to like and follow for more.